Welcome to Children's Time. We often hear someone read part of a letter that one of Jesus' early followers wrote and sent to another follower. We're going to hear one of those today. This letter is the letter of Paul to Philemon. I made a copy from the page in my Bible. You see, the whole letter is 1 page long. It's short, but it tells us quite a bit. We read that Paul wrote the letter and that Paul is in prison and that Paul is a follower of Jesus. He writes it to his friend Philemon and to his wife Apphia, and they apparently have a church that meets in their house. And many of the people in that church are friends, too, of Paul's. So he wishes them peace, and he asks a favor of Philemon. It's complicated. It's about someone named Onesimus. Onesimus was once a slave of Philemon's. We don't know what happened. Did he run away? We don't know. We do know that he winds up in prison with Paul, and he becomes very loved by Paul. Paul is very thankful for all of the care that Onesimus gives him, and he says, Onesimus is just like a son to me. So the favor that he asks of Philemon is, will you take Onesimus back? Not as a slave, but as someone who has been a good person. I'm not sure how it's going to end, but Paul is very persuasive in this letter. I've been thinking about a person, and I have her picture here. Her name was Mother Teresa, and she lived in India for much of her life. She spent a lot of time caring for people that were very poor and sick. And even though she did this work very quietly, the world noticed. There were people who said, I want to come and help work with you. There were other people who said, I would like to give money so that you can help do this ministry. And one day the world took note and said, we want to give you a peace prize because what you have done is to love and care for those persons nobody was prepared to look after. The reason I want you to think about Mother Teresa today is she said something about letter writing. And what she said is this: I am a little pencil in the hand of a writing God who is sending a love letter to the world. Each of us is a letter from God written and sent to the world. We are God's living letters. It's lovely to think about how each of our lives can be a love letter. I want you to take that home with you today, that thought, and also give thanks to God that we get a chance to show love in so many ways, and that we are actually writing love letters every day of our lives. Thanks be to God for all of that. Amen.